Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rewind by Affinity Streaming Podcast. I am Contrell, joined as always by Charlie. How are you, Charlie?
Oh, pretty good. How are you doing?
Great, amazing.
I don't hear
it. Today's Rewind, we're doing Batman and Robin, 1997, rated PG-13, runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes, and the spoilers are ahead. Before we get started, please grab our attention on our socials. Subscribe on YouTube. We are on Instagram, Facebook. We are at Affinity Streaming Podcast. All right, Charlie. So let's kick some ice and get right into this movie. It was directed by Joel Schumacher for Warner Brothers. Currently streaming on Max, starring George Clooney as Batman, Bruce Wayne. 11% critics. 14% audience, and a 3.6 on Film Affinity.
Yeah, I think that's well deserved.
Yeah, we've done a few movies now, Charlie, and I've only apologized for one, and that was Palo Alto. But I'm also going to apologize for this one.
Palo Alto was just a little odd and with like dislikable characters, but that was kind of its point.
You know? Okay. Yeah, but this is only the second time, like an hour into the movie, I'm like, I want to turn this off, and I hope Charlie doesn't hate me for this. But
yeah, well, it was like an hour in, and I was like, oh wow, well, I'm ready to wrap this up, and I was like, oh holy shit, there's another hour left. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh god, I just checked. It was like 40 minutes. Like I felt like an hour ago.
So, is this a first watch or a rewatch for you, Charlie?
I don't know what to call it. It's another one that was like on TV sometimes on good old TNT, but
yeah.
So I don't know if I ever sat down and just watched through the whole thing in one go, you know?
Right. So I actually saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
I remember not hating it as much as I hated it this watch.
Yeah.
But I did want to rewatch it again. It's on my list of just things I want to rewatch.
Yeah,
So that's why I chose it. I just wanted to go through it again to see if I would like it better or worse.
Yeah, to see if it's really as bad as people say.
Yeah, because people talk about it all the time, and I just wanted to, and it was as bad as people say.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious too, because like, yeah, I mean, I saw it when I was seeing it on TV. I was like a kid, and kids don't really care.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, you read about and you hear about how like terrible it is, and like I would see like little bits and scenes and be like, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it doesn't look great, but it can really be that bad. No, it kind of is.
It is. I mean, from opening scene, it's immediately cringy.
Yeah.
With bad jokes and the suit up and the bat nipples.
The bat nipples that everyone complains about. The zoom in on the butt too as they put it on. Like, what are you doing?
And the
doing,
chicks dig the cars. Like, come on, man.
Robin in this movie, he comes off so whiny and douchey.
Yeah.
Like, both at the same time. And it's just like, man, why? Is he supposed to be cool? Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you think that their goal was with him?
I think they wanted it to be like a 15-year-old boy, but they got like a 25-year-old man. I think if it was like some 15-year-old.
He's supposed to be in college because the other girl, Barbara,
Batgirl was in college. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be like the same age. So, like,
but I feel like they wrote it for like a 15-year-old boy to be all like cars and girls.
It feels like it was written by like 60-year-old men who don't know what the cool kids do. So that's what they just. I don't know.
That's what they assume.
It's like, my kids talked like this like 30 years ago. You know? They still do that, right?
Yeah, they still do that. I think the screenplay was written by like some guy, Akiva Goldsman, and apparently he went on to win an Oscar for something. I don't know what.
Shit, really? You have to tell us what Oscar did he win.
I think I read that somewhere. He won like an Oscar for something. Anyway, I don't know, but yeah, he wrote the screenplay, and they wanted him to come back, and he didn't. Um, so thank goodness
Well, no
for
one
that.
did, I guess. This was like the last of that
Yeah, this
run of
killed
Batman.
the Batman franchise, like from as it was then, from the
Yeah,
Tim Burton era. It just killed
yeah,
the franchise. So we're not going to go through this movie and talk about the plot like we normally do because it
yeah.
absolutely made no sense. We'll
Yeah, there's
just
some. It's like the basic plot is like they're. Well, shit. Okay, okay, what's the basic plot? Okay. Oh,
Mr. Freeze wants to cure his wife.
Mr. Freeze wants to cure his wife. This. Okay, I think the main issue of this movie, there's so many different like plots and subplots going on that it's kind of hard to like keep track. Like you can keep track, but it's kind of hard. None of them really like go anywhere. They barely, and like none of them have time to develop. So like let's go through them. Mr. Freeze wants to cure his wife, so he's stealing diamonds. Uh, Poison Ivy
Poison Ivy.
wants to kill all the humans. Robin is upset at Batman because he's not being treated as an equal. Alfred is dying. Um, what else is there? Oh, Bruce is like
Batgirl.
having
Yeah.
yeah, Bruce is having a hard time like opening up to his family and connecting and maybe getting married or something because he doesn't really want to.
To Elle
Oh yeah,
McPherson.
yeah, and then there's Batgirl who's appearing. I feel like I'm missing something.
I think you covered it all.
Okay, okay,
Batgirl.
and it's just all these things.
And Bane, who was like
Well,
just
Bane's
a
just
throw
here.
in. He's just a
God,
driver for
what
Poison
a
Ivy.
like travesty for a character.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to make
pretty
him
bad.
like a grunting zombie.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Bane was in the movie.
Yeah, I remembered, but I didn't remember him being that horrible. He's just the whole time he's just kind of grunting and moaning. He's just like a mindless zombie, basically.
yeah. I was glad to see that his creator, like, was played by John Glover,
Yeah.
Doctor Woodrow. John Glover is a favorite of mine from Smallville.
Okay.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you're not as
Yeah.
big a Smallville
Yeah.
guy, but
Yeah. So
so
there's too many plot threads going on, and
lots of
like
plot
throughout the
threads.
movie, they like barely get developed, or like, and then when the scenes, there'll be some scenes like, oh, like this Mister Freeze sitting with his wife, his like frozen wife, but it's like a minute long, and it's like undercut by like some stupid joke while he like shoots a guy to like
Where he
freeze him or
freezes the
something.
guy. Yeah,
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 it's like, man, just let it give something. I don't know. Like, I think there's some like, I don't want to say good stuff, but like the stuff with like Robin and Batman, like that can be interesting. That can go
yeah.
somewhere. Like
That
maybe
could
if
have
they
been
just cut,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, they cut
without the
everyone
whole
out.
pheromone thing in it, it could have been interesting.
Yeah, it was already fine. Like that, Robin trying to like be an adult and Batman not trusting him. Although Batman not trusting him, like why would you turn off his like motorcycle on
Yeah,
like a
it seems like
very
that would
dangerous
kill
ledge?
him.
Yeah, that
That would
seems
seem
like
like
way
it would
more
kill him.
likely.
And where was Mr. Freeze like going? Like the whole point was to jump to the roof of this building. Like then what? It just seemed like a dumb escape plan. Like
It
driving down the
wasn't a
statue. Like it
plan.
was just dumb.
They wanted him. The movie wanted him to jump, and so he jumped off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Off
say the
this.
build. Okay, the building looks very cool though.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
The starting building, it's like this giant
Uh,
building. I guess you'll post a picture of it, but they're like it's like holding like the actual observatory up.
yeah, and has like the fingers out for him to make as a ramp for
Yeah,
him to
yeah.
jump on.
The build like
Uh
so like his vision of Gotham is pretty interesting. I
yeah,
guess
it was
it's
very
very
interesting.
unique. It's interesting and unique. I don't
Yes.
know if I
I
like it,
that
but
was one of the things I did enjoy about the
yeah,
movie is some of the visuals.
yeah.
I didn't know that like diamond enhanced lasers could keep you cold though. It was like a kind of dumb.
I
I need
guess, and also
diamonds because
he's mostly just like throwing them into the compartment. Did you see
yeah,
that? Like, how does
yeah,
that
just
even
like
work? Like,
oh, drop them in here. Yeah, the
yeah,
lasers enhance them is all they said. So
yeah. And
I
he has
guess
like
if
one of those
you
like disco ball light things with diamonds in it, right? You know what I'm talking about? Those like colored things where you like turn on the lights and they have all the like little
Yes,
colored lights. Yeah.
yes. And the movie had just no regard for like the DC history, the DC lore. It was just
No, I mean,
all
I
over the
think
place.
they make some allusions to Mister Freeze's backstory, like we said with like Nora, and I think they were. I mean, this was all because like that was developed in the animated series in like
Right,
in the
right.
earlier
The movie,
movies.
the Sub Freeze, the Sub Zero movie. Yeah,
Yeah, well, like no, well that specific episode, I think it was Heart of Ice. They like bring his character in for the first time and kind of introduce like that his little tragic
Nora.
backstory.
And he made the little like thing with her spinning out of the clock. That
Yeah,
was
yeah. I
cute.
think they make some allusion to that in this movie because he's sitting in the prison and he has some little thing too.
Yeah,
So I think that that was like to me. I think that was like a clear little reference. You can
yeah.
look
But I
that
mean,
up.
they made Barbara like Alfred's niece.
Yeah,
Um,
they made Commissioner Gordon look like a 4-star. I think he was like a 4-star general or something.
it
Right? It's very weird.
was just yeah, it was weird. Those are just
Yeah,
those Batman. I thought he played Commissioner Gordon in a couple of the movies though. And
maybe.
I guess Uma Thurman was going for like a 60s Catwoman vibe with her whole act. I don't know. She's
Yeah,
like Julie Newmar, 60s Catwoman. She was like, like that's Catwoman. That's not Poison Ivy. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I didn't
anyway,
really like.
you
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
it.
I want to say I don't like it, but Poison Ivy felt like one of the only characters who belonged in this movie. I don't know how to explain it. You know, like like the movie is like absurd, and she played it up a lot.
They played absurdly, yeah.
But she also didn't. She kind of still kind of fit into the movie. I don't know. Like Mister Freeze, he was also absurd, but with all his like ridiculous one-liners, I felt like he was kind of popping out of the movie. You know,
I feel like
and
he
then like Batman and Robin
wanted
are
to be the
playing it too
star.
straight for this movie. Almost, they're like really serious, like having weird
Yeah.
arguments, but the movie isn't that. So it's like the Poison Ivy, for whatever reason, for me, she kind of slips into the movie a bit better. I don't like how she fits into I don't like the movie and her with it, but she fits into it better.
She fits into it better.
I can see her in this world, and I can't see the others as easily.
Yeah. And what did you think of Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, Barbara?
I don't think she's good. I don't. Her and Robin are like so wooden when they act. They just kind of like deliver their lines. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
like almost everyone is just kind of saying their lines. I don't really feel like there's any, I don't know, emotion behind them.
Yeah. She was like
Alfred delivers his
nominated for
lines
like
fine. They
worst
made him like
actress.
super old in this one though.
Yeah. Alfred was good. I thought the Alfred Bruce scenes are good. Like with
Yeah,
him flashing back as a kid, like that, something I would have kept. But
yeah, that's something that they should have. I don't know if they had more like conversation or yeah something. But again, it was kind of just like I didn't like how like the writing was just so bad. So it'd just be like, oh yeah, am I really that stubborn? Yeah, you are stubborn. It's because your parents died and you wanted to control death and life. Oh, okay, just spell it out. Why don't you like? That's the kind of thing that you have like a little more of a nuanced conversation. You go like a little back and forth, and maybe
yeah, you
like
don't
a
just
discussion.
come right
Maybe
out
he
with
like
it.
maybe Bruce tries to deny it and is like, I'm not controlling, and maybe he has to like go and think about it and realize. But it's just like, oh yeah, it's this because of this. He's like, oh okay, and then scene's over, and that's how they explain most of like the emotional scenes. Like, oh, I'm sad. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I do want to give a mention to two cameos in the movie that surprised me that I didn't remember.
Right.
Jesse, former Governor Jesse Ventura, and WWF superstar Jesse Ventura was a prison guard at Arkham Asylum,
Oh
one
really?
of the
I didn't
guards
realize.
that she killed. And Coolio made an appearance as the banker when they were doing the bike races when Alicia Silverstone was sneaking out. Uh,
Oh,
Rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
everything. So, yeah, like so. I think about the bikers, and yeah, it's like I guess we go back to the design of the place because yeah, it is. It feels a lot. I was thinking about like the Warriors. You know how there's like all these different like groups of people who are just I don't know existing. And everyone's like fine with it. Like they all have their like thing going on. Oh, this is the biker gang. They're all just have biker themed stuff, I guess. You know?
yeah.
There was a couple people I don't remember where like, but they're there's like the gang that Poison Ivy kicks out. They're I don't know what their theme is, but they have like glow in the
They were
dark
like
chains.
black light neon gang.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
It's
were
very
like in a
strange.
room that was boarded up. I don't know how they got in and out of that room, but
The back
uh
door, I guess.
the
I
back
don't know.
here's the back door.
Just don't
Yeah.
think about it. Why
Yeah.
did she want that room? That also doesn't make sense.
She needed a headquarters. So
Yes.
I think at this point in Gotham, if you just like the police, you should just go to every abandoned warehouse and toy factory and ice cream factory because there's somebody hiding there. It
Yeah.
just seems to be a. Let's talk about according
Yeah,
to
they need to have a
Wikipedia.
new ordinance that if a building's abandoned for more than a year, just tear it
Just
down.
tear it down,
You know,
yeah,
because
to keep the
some
villains from hiding
supervillain's gonna
out.
move in like a
Yeah.
week.
So the
Can you
golden
imagine like the
raspberry.
subplot? Imagine a subplot where like the Joker is trying to fight like the board of the city. Like, oh no, I've been occupying this. It's not abandoned, and they're like the bulldozers are there to like tear it down.
That seems like a Harley Quinn plot. Um,
Yeah,
so Golden Raspberry Awards, Alicia Silverstone did win for worst supporting actress, and
yeah, she's pretty
Uma
bad.
Thurman was nominated. So she beat her co-star Uma Thurman for worst actress,
Yeah,
and and it won the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, which I've never heard of, for
yeah,
worst picture, worst screenplay, worst director, worst supporting actress. Alicia
yeah.
Silverstone again.
It's just all around terrible. I mean, for example, and there's some like so many like weird decisions. Like, I think there's like I made a note for like when Poison Ivy is like coming back to life for the first time, and it's like this really weird scene. And it's like a lot of it feels almost like a musical number without the music because like people
Her
like moving
rising
like
up
to
from
like
the ground.
yeah, and like everyone's moving like choreographed, and she's like kind of moving around, and then I don't know, it looked like a weird experimental like art scene. You know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just so many weird things going on, and it's like, what was anyone thinking? Like,
But you loved every moment of it, right?
I was confused. So I was trying to think of like while I was watching it because like I do like weird things. Like, I like unique things. I like kind of campy things, but this somehow it wasn't any of those things. It was just weird and
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like,
And I think at the time we weren't expecting camp. Like going into the theater, we were expecting a serious
yeah,
movie, I believe.
okay,
Um, and I think that's what turned a lot of people off. Um,
yeah. But like, if that was the case, then it was about expectations. And going back now to look at it, it would be like, like the regard people have for it would be a little higher because they'd be like, oh well, it
yeah,
wasn't correct for the time, but looking at it now,
it
I
wasn't as
understand
bad.
what they were going for, but I
I
don't
still
understand what
don't.
they
Yeah,
were going for.
don't
Yeah,
understand.
it's just very very strange. I think the problem is like we said, like too many different scenes that are just jumping around. You can't really like connect to any of the characters. So when they say like
Yeah,
ridiculous things, like when Mr. Freeze is like saying nonsense things while he looks at his dead wife and is like upset, it's like how am I supposed to feel emotionally
yeah.
connected to him? You
And
know?
there was just too many dumb moments through the movie, like the ice skates on the bottom of the bad boots.
Yeah.
The
That's also like how
Batman
they
American Express card. Like,
yeah.
come on.
God, the famous card, the bat card, like, oh man. But it's
And
like I think it's
the
also
rubber lips.
yeah. I was also remembering it's like it's not just the scene itself, it's like how they move in them, like when they're jumping across, it's like clearly they're like so obviously on wires because they're so stiff as they move, you know? Everyone's so
Yeah.
stiff, like the action movements. And I think that's what also like takes it out of like the like if it was like fluid and like they felt like they were actually doing stuff, then maybe the camp would fit a little better. But it just feels everything feels so fake. I mean, because it is, you know, and it's very obvious.
Well, I hope that Warner Brothers learned from this. I don't really think they did, but maybe they did. I don't know. They learned not to just do this stuff anymore. All right, so yeah, that was it. That's all I had to mention on this movie. I did want to rewatch it, just like you said. Maybe I would be like, oh, I see something. I see what they were going for, but
Yeah,
I
I was kind
didn't.
of, yeah, I was like, I started watching the movie and I was kind of like, okay, what? I don't know. And then it's never really picked up from there. And yeah,
Yeah,
everyone acts so like ridiculous. It's like they're ridiculous but also serious at times, and it's like a little. It's like tonally very confusing.
and I can't imagine how I sat through this in the theater. I just don't even know how I did it. I must have just been hopped
Desperate
up
for
on
a movie.
sugar or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Desperate
had a
for a
bunch of
movie.
popcorn.
Maybe it was in the summer and it was hot outside and I just wanted air conditioning. Like, who knows?
Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. At this point, like I would never go to a movie theater to see that.
All right. Anything else you want to mention on this classic film before we wrap this up?
No,
No.
it's. I would not recommend seeing it. Even if you have some kind of interest in, if you love Batman or you like we said you have some interest in camp, it's really not worth seeing. It
Nice.
doesn't really
Yeah, it's
deliver on
true.
anything. Oh, but there was something. Like the very end when Bruce is talking to or Batman's talking to Mister Freeze. That's actually a decent scene.
Yeah, like you can see he had his heart in the right place. He wanted to cure
Yeah,
his wife.
and like they really that's one of the things I like about Batman is like humanity, how he like cares for everyone, and that's basically the only time in the movie really like comes out, you know, where he's
As
like,
Batman.
oh, we can
Yeah.
come on, Mr. Freeze, you can still be like the good man you were, that kind of thing, and it makes me really think of the animated series, which is so much
Right.
better.
So much better than this. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we're gonna attempt to do a Christmas movie next time. We're gonna do
Yeah.
a Miracle on 34th Street. Have you seen it before?
Nope.
All
I
right,
don't
so
think
this is gonna be interesting.
it's your
All
favorite,
right,
right?
I, it's one of my favorites. Yes,
All
one
right,
of my
all
favorites.
right.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We will see you next time. For Charlie, I'm Contrell. Thanks for listening, watching the Rewind podcast by Affinity Streaming. See you next time.
All
Bye.
right, see you.